All right. We haven't had a hero of the day for a while, so he's going to have to be hero of the week too. But I'm loving this judge. I don't know this guy. Little background. There's this man in court. I don't know what he's being accused of, some crime involving a firearm, whatever it is. The man happens to be black. His lawyer is going to open up with the man's lawyer trying to defend this client. The lawyer somehow thinks it's a good idea to introduce like identity politics, whatever, anti-police rhetoric. The judge is having absolutely none of this. Here's our hero of the day, Mr. Judge Guy. Check this out.
He's running from the scenes because shots are being fired.
Right. And he's got
in light of what's happening in
got it.
Your Honor,
Sir,
in light of what's happening in this country, with unarmed black men being killed by police.
Don't hand me that. Don't hand
me
that.
From shots being fired.
Don't even go down that road. I'm not going to let you go down that road. That is so off base. We've got a young man. I don't care what color he is. He's in a neighborhood he doesn't live in at 1:41 in the morning, hiding on under somebody's dock in the water with a holster on after a police officer had a shot taken at him. Don't hand me this. He's a black man running from police brutality. Look, that is not appropriate in this case. That's not there. I'm not going to let you poison this case with bringing in something that has nothing to do with it. Your bond's $100,000 on count 3 and $100,000 on count 4. Thank you.
And the verdict is in. Thank you, Judge. Well done. Hero of the day /week. Nice job, Mr. Judge Guy. Here's a segment we've been running every day now. He's putting a fancy graphic together for next week. Here is our Ron DeSantis strikes again segment, making Florida the greatest state of the union. This guy is setting an example for governors everywhere. By the way, very weak hit piece out today in Ron DeSantis on Politico, basically saying Ron DeSantis doesn't really like political consultants and relies on his wife. You're like, that's a hit piece? Yeah, that's the hit piece. That's the gist of it. Read it. Ron DeSantis doesn't trust people other than his wife. Good for Ron. His wife is great, by the way. I already told you that on the show. I'd trust her, too, if she was my wife. She's not. I'm married to Paula, and I love her, too. What do I? Do I get a hit piece, too, from Politico? Dan Bongino trusts his wife to run his business. Florida politics. Governor DeSantis touts Florida's economic recovery over the lockdown states. Here's a fascinating little set of data for you. So New York has a 12% income tax in New York State. New York City piles on an extra, 2 or 3%. They also got hundreds of billions of dollars in bailout money in New York State. Florida has zero income tax, relies a lot less on the federal government. And yet, this is incredible. DeSantis briefed reporters yesterday and said, our unemployment rate's lower than the national average by a significant amount. Also, Florida's tax revenue, is trending upward. In April, Florida state revenue exceeded expectations by roughly $750 million. Moreover, the state doubled its reserve fund without touching a cent throughout the pandemic, DeSantis noted. That's odd. Odd if you're a liberal, of course. If you're a sane conservative, you're like, it makes perfect sense. Florida has no state income tax at all. Doubles its state revenue, is flush in money right now, never dipped into its emergency fund at all. Yet New York, with a 12% state income tax, New York City income tax, regulations out the wazoo, is going bankrupt with an income tax of 12%. Weird, isn't it? Weird how that works. Again, libs, I know this is hard for you. Numbers and stuff, data, process. I know it's hard for you, processing information. But doesn't that strike you as a little strange? That we have no state income tax and we are flush with money? You have a huge state income tax in the liberal state of New York and you're nearly bankrupt? Isn't that just really odd? Does that trigger some dendrites, axons, connections, neurotransmitters, synapses? Any of that working? Nodes of Ranvier, myelin sheaths, any of that functioning? Electrical conduction? No? Okay, didn't think so. Part 2 of our Ron DeSantis strikes again. Washington Examiner. Ron DeSantis tells unemployed Floridians, got to start looking for a job. Good. Guy laughed at the headline because it's true. Why is this weird? Ladies and gentlemen, if you're unemployed and can get a job and the taxpayers are paying, listen, if it's a big struggle and there's some reason you're unemployed and you cannot possibly work, there's a safety net built in for that. Whether you agree with it or not, it's there. If you can work, I can't say that word, can I, on the air? Get your rump to work. Go to work if you can work. I work, he works, Joe works, Paula works. We all work. If you can work, go to work. Republicans shouldn't run for this. That sounds insensitive. It's insensitive. You know what sounds insensitive? Asking people to pay for other people not to work. Get to work. Work boots. Put them on. That's not insensitive. That's the real world. Save the unemployment money for people who are unemployed through no fault of their own. Why is this controversial? Ron DeSantis, if you can work, you should work. Please work. It's controversial to me to pay for it. Take your rump and go to work. Part 3. This is from Florida Gov, their Florida's official website. Ron DeSantis signs bill to safeguard the sanctity of Florida elections. Cleaning up elections, securing ballot boxes, preventing mass mailing of ballots where fraud could result. Again, the best governor in the country right now, hands down. And if the best you can do for a hit piece is that Ron DeSantis trusts his wife over political consultants, good luck.